Arena FPS. These are fast, tight shooters built around movement, map control, and quick aim. They grew out of early competitive games like Quake and Unreal Tournament, where players moved constantly, fought for powerful weapons, and learned every corner of the map. What makes them different is the speed of decision-making. There is rarely time to hide for long, and a single mistake can decide the fight. That is why Arena FPS games still matter in competitive play. Tactical FPS. These games focus on careful movement, team coordination, and realistic gunfights. They became more popular as players wanted shooting games where planning mattered as much as reflexes. In a tactical FPS, being loud or careless can ruin a round, so players often check angles, share information, and move with purpose. The slower pace makes every shot feel more important, and that changes the whole rhythm of the game. Hero Shooter FPS. These are shooters built around characters with unique abilities, not just weapons. They came from the mix of FPS design and team-based multiplayer, where different roles could create more variety in each match. One character might heal, another might block damage, and another might attack from far away. That balance of guns and abilities makes the genre different from more traditional shooters, and it gives each match a stronger sense of identity. Battle Royale FPS. These games drop many players into one large map and ask them to survive until only one remains. They became huge because they combine shooting, survival, and scavenging into a single format. At the start, players usually have little gear, so every decision about where to land and what to pick up matters. The shrinking play area keeps the pressure high, and that steady tension is a big part of why the genre became so popular. Looter Shooter FPS. These games mix first-person shooting with gear progression and repeated missions. They grew from action RPG ideas, where loot and character building were just as important as combat. Players often return to the same areas many times, chasing better weapons, stronger equipment, and rarer rewards. The appeal comes from the loop of shooting, collecting, improving, and then doing it again with more power than before. Extraction Shooter FPS. These are tense games where players enter a map, gather loot, and try to leave alive. The idea became popular because it adds real risk to every run. If you survive, you keep what you found. If you fail, you may lose it. That makes each encounter feel personal because even a small mistake can cost valuable gear. The genre stands out by making survival and escape just as important as combat. Military FPS. These shooters take inspiration from real armed conflict and modern combat scenarios. They became common as game developers tried to make shooting feel grounded and believable. Weapons, uniforms, and mission settings often reflect real-world military equipment and tactics. What separates them from other FPS games is the focus on authenticity, discipline, and large-scale combat situations rather than pure arcade action. Sci-Fi FPS. These games place shooting in futuristic worlds filled with advanced weapons, strange technology, and alien threats. They became popular because the first-person perspective works well for imaginative settings that do not have to follow real-world rules. A sci-fi FPS can give players energy weapons, teleportation, powered armor, or unusual environments that change the way combat works. That freedom makes the genre feel inventive and unpredictable. Horror FPS. These are first-person shooters built to make the player feel vulnerable, not powerful. They often use dark places, limited resources, and frightening enemies to create tension. The genre matters because the first-person view makes fear feel immediate and personal. When a game combines shooting with survival horror, every hallway can feel dangerous and every bullet can feel important. Boomer Shooter. These games are a modern return to the style of early 1990s shooters with simple controls, fast movement, and aggressive combat. They are called boomer shooters because they echo the old-school design of games like Doom and Duke Nukem 3D. What sets them apart is their directness. They usually skip complex systems and focus on speed, level design, and non-stop action. For many players, that stripped-down style is part of the appeal. Arcade FPS. These shooters care more about immediacy and fun than realism. They usually offer quick matches, easy-to-read action, and weapons that feel strong right away. The design comes from the idea that shooting games can be simple without being shallow. Players can jump in, understand the rules fast, and enjoy the flow of combat without studying too many systems. That makes arcade FPS games accessible and easy to return to.